Hey there, Rush fans. This is Mark Benetti alongside you for your latest edition of Behind the Bench presented by Assurance Solutions. The off-season series continues, and joining me for his first time on the program is our now second-year Director of Game Operations, Kevin Radigan. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us. Before we get into the fun conversation you and I are about to have, this has to be a pretty awkward moment for you because normally you're the gentleman behind the camera. Now you're in front of it.
Yeah, it's a little different, so we'll see how it goes, right?
Well, your background is very diverse. It's taken you all over in your life and in your career and even in the United States. What ultimately brought you to work in professional hockey?
Well, it all starts with getting to Rapid City, and in 2009 I came here with the Air Force and got out in 2013. Did some live production work in the area, and then through some group outings and stuff like that, developed relationships with the front office of the Rush, and then was looking for something full-time this last summer. And they knew what I could do with production, and I knew what the Rush was about, so we decided to give it a shot.
So obviously you were very qualified coming into the position, but throughout that diversity in your background, what was one thing that you took away that you really applied strongly to this position?
A lot of my mentors have said that what you've gone through in life prepares you for what you're doing today. And I didn't even realize it until maybe, I don't know, halfway through the season, how much, my time in the military had prepared me with, failure's not an option. We had some goals that we wanted to do and some challenging things. And, it's just find a way to get it done. And my time in live production, production is not a 9-to-5 job. This isn't either. So, just long hours and never say die.
So now that your rookie season, if you will, has finished, what are your overall impressions of working in professional hockey?
Man, it's a blast. It's a dream job, to be honest with you. We get to come to work every single day and think about entertaining fans, entertaining 5,000 folks here in Rapid City, and seeing some awesome hockey on the ice. So it's really, I don't know, man. It's an absolute blast. It's a whirlwind, though.
Well, folks, we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with your second half of Behind the Bench after a word from our sponsor.
My job at Assurant involves keeping our customers informed at a time when they need us the most. I care about doing a good job for my company, but mostly I care about the people I serve. I found the same spirit of caring in a lot of my coworkers at Assurant. In the communities where we operate, we get involved with outreach groups and local charities. The same teams that are so good at helping our customers are also hard at work helping out in our neighborhoods. I think if I had to tell somebody one thing about Assurant, I'd say we care.
And we're back with your second half of Behind the Bench presented by Assurance Solutions. The progression of our off-season series continues now with our guest, the Director of Game Operations of the Rapid City Rush, Kevin Radigan. Now, Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but just from the outside looking in, one of the most fun parts of your job has to be coming up with all the video content and things you put on during the game. Am I right?
I think my favorite, most fun part of my job, Mark, actually might be telling the production crew that we've scored a goal, turning off the lights, and getting the party rocking with the goal horn there. But yeah, second to that, and in the office, definitely coming up with the content for entertaining. The videos is definitely one of my favorite parts. If I'm being honest, though, I think two of my favorite clips are clips that may have even been here when I got here. The "That Was Awesome" clip from Tommy Boy, and that's what I'm talking about with Gru. There's nothing better than when the home team scores a goal, and those videos both come in that time, and the fans all interact with "That Was Awesome" from Tommy Boy, and they shout along with it, which is really fun. But we actually kind of have an inside superstition about playing "That's What I'm Talking About" with Gru. Every time that we seem to have played that clip, it doesn't matter how the game goes, we always end up walking away with the W. Those are my two favorites. We try to keep it, mixing it up and everything like that, but the Gru clip is maybe my personal favorite for our little superstition that we have up there in the tech booth.
Last question for you, Kevin. Also, too, you get to come up with your own content and your own videos, things that aren't necessarily from movies. They're videos that you've scripted and sometimes even performed in. What has to be your most favorite piece of original content you created this year?
Man, I feel like a woman with Missouri, that's fun because we've got a nice little rivalry there, and that was challenging to lip sync to that. That's not always my forte, I guess, but that was a lot of fun. I feel like my favorite, though, is probably the last one that we did with Quad City and you and I and Joey Sides. Getting players involved is always fun. I think the fans enjoy that. But, man, it was hysterical because, I mean, it's Kenny G, and it's at a hockey game, and there's a penalty. It's just a perfect storm. So the Quad City, how am I supposed to live without you with Michael Bolton and Kenny G? So, yep.
Thanks so much for joining us, Kevin. It was an absolute blast having you on the program. It's going to be an even better blast having you for a second season. That'll do it for our latest edition of Behind the Bench, presented by Assurance Solutions. And don't forget to continue following our off-season series as the summer progresses.